Hello. Well, it's 4:37 a.m. in the morning. I just woke up. Um, you know, uh, I don't know how to say this. It's just that some things about life really suck, and this world is just in so many ways it's fucked up. Uh, but I want to be in it, even though things can be hard, and I've been thinking about some friends that have done things to me that really tainted the relationship. Um, really, you know, we're good friends, and then all of a sudden they do something just really shitty, and then I'm like, oh well, and then it's like, well, I can't fix it. I can't fix that, and we can only control ourselves, and when friends do things that are bad to us, we we gotta confront it, and we gotta be like, hey, like they say in assertiveness that you use I statements. I'm upset that you did this, that you did such and such. You know, but that doesn't mean that it's gonna get resolved or get fixed. That doesn't mean that you know we can only control ourselves. We can't control what our friends do. And if our friend does something mean to us, all we can do is point it out to them and say, hey, I felt this wasn't right what you did. And um, that doesn't mean that it's going to fix it. And that relationship could be tainted from then on. And it might even destroy the relationship. Uh, but, you know, one thing we got to remember is even though we lose friends, whether to death or to, death can be all sorts of different ways. It could be, like it could be, you could, it could be a death where it felt like it was their time, or it could be a death where, they just got hit by a car and now they're gone from your life. And, or it could be that something happened, whether it be you or them or both of yous, that just you had a disagreement and then the relationship ends just like that and it's over. But we lose friends all different ways. Sometimes a friend will just stop wanting to be our friend. They'll be like, I don't want to be a friend anymore, and it sounds kind of childish, like, oh, I don't want to be a friend anymore. But sometimes that happens. Is like a friend will be like, well, I don't want to be a friend anymore, and then all of a sudden they're not your friend anymore. And that's happened to me a couple times where a friend has basically done that to me. Um, one of them, one of my friends who didn't want to be my friend anymore, did it, stopped being my friend, and but didn't end it with negativity or harshness. This friend didn't, say anything like mean or anything. They just was like, well, they just basically said, they just basically stopped associating with me. And another friend uh, ended it by saying, you know, um, uh, I hope you die. And then it was the last thing this other friend said is, I hope you die. And then, you know, that's it. No more, no more conversation with that friend. That friend was like, blocked me and was like, that's it. And well, this other friend, the one that said, I hope you die to me, um, has had some problems, some mental problems. I mean, I have some mental problems myself. I mean, I have I mean, I don't. I'm kind of coming out here, but I do have depression. I do suffer from depression episodes, and um, it's not something I talk about, but um, I do have episodes of really bad depression at times. But that's something that I deal with, and I don't really talk about that a lot. I don't really publicly. I mean, this is really the first time I publicly said that 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 I have that as a problem. But in I know everybody gets depressed, and everybody life can get them down. They say one in five. What was I think it's 1 in 5 people have a mental illness. I think it is. So it's like you don't realize you don't realize what other people are going through, and that's another thing to keep in mind. Is that's another very popular saying for good reason, is that you don't realize what other people are going through, and that's why they say to be kind. That's why it's said to be kind. Always be kind to people, because you know uh, you might see somebody and you might be tempted to take your anger out on them, or to you might be having a bad day and be nasty to them, but you don't know what they're going through. And I mean, that's not to say you're a bad person. We're all, in a way, we're all bad people. I mean, we can all be good people too. I'm in some ways I've been a bad person, but I've also done a lot of good things too for people. And we've all fallen, and we've all made mistakes. We've all, out of whether it was out of anger or out of confusion, we've all hurt people, and we've all hurt people unfairly. We've all, every single one of us on this earth, has all done something wrong to someone else that was unfair to that other person. So I've done things that were unfair to people, other people. Everybody has, and we got to remember that, is that we're all imperfect human beings. Um, we're all in this world that's I had a message on my Facebook. It was along the lines of it was a message I felt came from God. Um, I mean, whatever that means to you. Some people don't really believe in a God, and be like, oh, that was just your subconscious, or. But anyway, it was a message I felt was from a higher, was like a from a higher understanding. That when we, I don't remember the exact words, but when we wake from this world of confusion, we will realize that we can all get along, something like that. And I think and another thing I had said on my Facebook was, uh, we hurt others because out of out of we hurt others because we're hurt. And another reason why people hurt others, why we hurt others, is because of lack of understanding, of being confused. So out of confusion, out of not clearly understanding, we hurt somebody else. Or out of our own anger, we instinctually act out and it hurts someone else. And I just wanted to say, I know I want to reach out to, especially like people that are thinking of, I mean, there's a lot of people out there. I mean, let's face it, there's a lot of people out there that decide, well, I don't want to live anymore, and they end their life. And I think, I mean, a lot of people, like they say, a lot of people that have tried to kill themselves. They say a lot of people who have tried to kill themselves regret it afterwards. They regret it, and then they're glad that they didn't do it. And it's something you can't, you know, you can't turn back from. Once you if if you were able to kill yourself, you can't go back. You can't go back and say, "Oops, I changed my mind." Once it's done, you know, uh, it's done, and you can't take that back. You can't get back that life that you just gave up. And what you're giving up is you're giving up all your friends, you're giving up all your family, you're giving up everything that you could have accomplished in this life. You give up the light that you could have been bringing into this world. And we need people like myself that bring a light into this world. And we need people to bring a light into this world. I help people, and I like to help people. Sometimes it people wanting my help or wanting things from me can get annoying and frustrating. But you know, for the most part, I like helping people. And you know, if you're thinking of killing yourself, um, give it at least 24 hours and say, let's see, let me think about this first. Talk to someone. If you're thinking of that or you're feeling that way, call someone up, anyone up. There's the suicide hotline. I mean, I don't have the number memorized. You can call that up and you can talk to someone in there. You can say, hey, listen, I need to talk. I'm not feeling good. And they will talk you through it. That it's not like, oh, they're gonna call the ambulance and have them take you away. They will talk you through it and they will try to talk you out of it. And if they can talk you out of it, then the ambulance won't need to be called. The police won't need to be called. You know, they're not just going to go and call the police and call the ambulance and have you just taken away, have you carried away. They're gonna talk to you and try to talk you down and try to get you through it. And um, life can just be so hard sometimes. But I have goals in life. I have things that I want to do. I have like a story that I have a book that I want to finish and publish someday. God knows when. It feels like it's never going to get finished. This book that I'm working on feels like it's never going to get finished. Feels like I'm never going to publish it. There's self-publishing companies like kdp.amazon.com and lulu.com, and I think you have to put the www in there though. www.lulu.com, www.createspace.com. It's weird how some websites you have to put the three W's or they don't work. But you know, it's like, yeah, you could throw your life away, and that's gonna hurt your friends and family if you do that. If you do kill yourself, your friends and family are gonna be hurt. And sometimes people think, oh, nobody's gonna care. Nobody's gonna care if I kill myself, if I die. Yeah, people are gonna care. And I just want to say, I'm gonna say I love you, and I want to say I love you, and that's unconditional. Um, it doesn't matter, what you did. You know, I'm I'm putting that out there that I love you. I don't care. If if you killed someone, if you please, I hope you didn't kill somebody. But I just we all need love, and we all get confused, and we all get upset, and we all do crazy things and stupid things, and that's part of life, because in life we don't have clear understanding. We don't see clearly, and this life is just it's just chaos. It's just an insane asylum. It's just a big it's like a big insane asylum. We're people do all sorts of crazy, ridiculous things, and we, you know, there's no limit to this world is unhinged. There's no limit. You know, there's no limit to the amount of evil and cruelty in this world, but there's also no limit to the amount of love and justice and and salvation and selflessness. You know, if you didn't have the villains, you wouldn't have the superheroes. You know, if you didn't have the fires, you wouldn't have these people risking their life to save people from the fires. If you didn't have people that were in danger of dying, you wouldn't have heroes saving people's lives. You know, you wouldn't have all these people saving lives. You know, there's a lot of hardship and cruelty in the world. It does breed a lot of art. There's, you know, if you look songs, if you listen to the song lyrics, you know, music videos, movies, you know, they all reflect, you know, this chaotic world that has both evil and good fighting each other. You know, you got the evil and good fighting each other, and it's not clear what is evil and what is good. You know, there's not a clear, okay, this is evil, this is good. You know, it's got some people from their own perspective, from what they think in their brain, from what they've been exposed to, from what they've learned, they think this is good. And now from another person's perspective, their thoughts and their point of view will say the same thing that this side says is good, this other side will say is evil. So, you know, one person could think it's evil, another person could think it's good, and they could be referring to the same exact thing. Because, you know, it's like pros and cons. What are the pros and cons? You know, like, okay, let's say if a person misbehaves, what do you do? Should you punish them? You know, how should you punish them? Should you give them a painful electric shock? Should you spank them? You know, should you throw them in jail? Should you give them a monetary fine? Should you try to explain to them why what they did was wrong? You know, these are all different approaches. And, you know, what is wrong? You know, like the Judge Rotenberg Center will say, you know, waving your hand in front of your face is wrong. You know, so you do that, we're going to give you a painful shock to punish you for that, so you stop doing that, so that way, now that you're not waving your hand in front of your face, you can get along better in society because you're acting more normal. You know, is that right to do that? You know, is it right for them to do that? And then they'll argue that, on the other hand, they say, well, we got people in the Judge Rotenberg Center, in our Judge Rotenberg Center, we got people here that, you know, physically abuse themselves severely. You know, we got people that bite off parts of their lip. We got people that bang their head. You know, so we shock them. We give them a painful shock because it stops them from damaging their own body. You know, it's a electric shock that's painful, but, you know, theoretically it doesn't leave any permanent damage behind. So it causes them to stop, you know, that behavior, which could physically damage their body. And you know, that's another thing, is like, you know, I don't know if you heard in the news, but, you know, the FDA tried to ban the device that the Judge Rotenberg Center uses to give painful electric shocks. And I thought it was going to drag out for a while, but I thought eventually, years later, it would eventually, you know, get banned. What actually happened was that just recently got overturned, and the court said Oh, Judge Rotenberg Center, you can continue to use that device. That device is still legal, and you can still give painful electric shocks to your students. What they call them students. They're actually prisoners, but they call them students. And my argument is, what? Why don't they at least ban using it for waving your hand in front of your face, getting out of your seat without permission, getting out of bed without permission? These are the things that the Judge Rotenberg Center uses the painful electric shocks for. Why don't they ban the electric shock device on those types of behaviors? I mean, uh, some would argue you should ban it on all behaviors. Some would argue that. You know, um, that's the thing. People don't agree, and they say, well, um, we shock them for getting out of their bed because they get out of their bed before they do something dangerous. So we're justified in shocking them when they get out of bed. And from their perspective, it's the right thing to do to shock them for getting out of bed, because they're in their mind, well, if they get out of bed, then there's a risk that they're gonna jump out of bed and start. I don't know. That's their justification. I'm not making up their justification. They've said that. They've actually said that. The workers at JRC have said, yeah, we shock them for these behaviors because they're precursors to other dangerous behaviors. And you know, this world has a lot of evil in it, it has a lot of good in it, but um, even though this world kind of sucks, and right now I have a very negative view of this world. And thinking about this world as being pretty shitty. Um, I mean, on the positive side, I have good friends. I have good family members that I love and get along with. But I'm pretty. I'm upset. I'm not feeling happy. Very happy right now. Um, I'm upset with the way people treat people. I'm upset with the way people have treated me, by the way people have mistreated me. Uh, you know, and I could say, fuck this world. But I'm like, you know what? I got shit that I want to do. I got shit that I gotta get accomplished. Um, and I want to get them accomplished. Damn it. And okay, I live in this world that sucks in some ways, but there's things that I want to finish, and you know, there's a lot of good in this world, and you gotta. I, I'm. It's good to look at the positive things that will happen to you in your life in the future, and I'm not done yet, and you're not done yet, and we just gotta stick with it, and we gotta, you know, look at the positive things, that we have, the good things that we have: food, shelter, clean running water. Um, but I just sometimes things suck, but sometimes think sometimes you get out of it. Most all you pretty much always. I guess people always get out of it and feel happy again. I don't know everybody's situation. I mean, some people don't even have clean water, for crying out loud. How do they keep on going? But I don't know what to tell you. If you're thinking about um, getting out of this life, call someone up and talk about it. Talk about it, because um, things probably aren't that bad. I don't know where you are, but things we we as human beings have a tendency to feel things are a lot worse than they are, and to not realize the light at the end of the tunnel. And we don't see the light at the end of the tunnel a lot of times. We as human beings don't see that. And so if you're in a dark tunnel, if you're feeling crappy, if you're feeling like you know you don't you had enough of this life, you know, call someone. And I, like I said, I want to live. I want to try to make this world a better place. I want to bring light into this world. And, we got to bring light into this world because, some things are about this world are very dark. And, there is good against evil. This person's view against that person's view, this person's vote against that person's vote, what this person thinks is right versus what this person thinks is right. And we just gotta stay in there and art, create. Like this is art in a way. This video, um, my stories that I write are artwork. And I want to live for that. I want to live for creating art. I want to live for succeeding. I want to live for moving up in this world. I want to live for, my friends and family who love me. And my overall goal when my time comes, when my time comes and and I do die, so let's say I grow old and I wither away and I die. When that time comes, it's time for me to leave this world. Um, my main thing is I want to have left this world doing more good than bad, making people feel good more than I've made people feel bad. When I leave, I wanna have it so that, well, I made people feel good more than I've made people feel bad. If when my time comes and I leave this world, and I've made people feel good more than I've made people feel bad, then I'll say, you know, I that's good. That's good. I lived a righteous life. Um, I lived a good life. I lived a life that was kind, that was good. Um, because like I said, we all hurt people. I've hurt people. Um, I I don't like to hurt people. I wanna bring people up. I wanna make people feel better. I don't wanna make people feel worse. I wanna make people feel better. And I'm just gonna say to all of you out there, every single person on this earth, I love you. I know we've all done bad things, but that's what I gotta say. And that's it. So that's my video about life and how it can sometimes suck, but we gotta look at the positive, and we just gotta um, reach out. We gotta talk to, life is about relationships, not just romantic relationships, but also friendship relationships, and we gotta reach out and we gotta talk with other people. We have to talk with other people. We have to spend time um, chatting back and forth with other people, and we gotta say our feelings to other people. We gotta not just like the songs, The Sound of Silence. We gotta just not just talk with nothing, without any substance. We gotta talk about our feelings. We gotta talk about, hey, this is nice that somebody did this. This sucks that somebody did this. I'm upset about this. All right, I'm gonna end with that. It's almost a half hour, so I'm gonna end with that. Okay. God bless you, and I love you, and that's it.